My woman of wonder today has an outstanding contribution to cinema and entrepreneurship.
To make a movie, it's very easy, but to stay consistent is very difficult. If a person cannot even hear, but if he sees a movie and colors and everything, it speaks a lot. You make a movie for 1 crore, if the story is not good, no matter what, it's not gonna go. This new movie, Animal, the story was hopeless.
This is a trend I've been noticing. Every influencer is an actor these days.
This has to be posted because this is for the influencers. You need to know that you guys are not filmmakers. You are good influencers, but you cannot take up our place. That's all I would like to tell you guys. Tomorrow your Instagram is not there, then what are you? What are you going to show? But I have a lot of things to show.
Welcome to Women of Wonder by Reema Mahajan, or WOW Women as we lovingly call it. This is our initiative to bring to you stories of empowered and ambitious women so that we can all take inspiration from them. My woman of wonder today has the heart of creativity and resilience. She has an outstanding contribution to cinema and entrepreneurship. She's a storyteller, breaking barriers and challenging norms. Her films today are a powerful narrative that spark conversations and drive social change. Welcome to the podcast, Ms. Zenofar. Lovely to have you here.
Lovely to be here. Thank you.
So I've been very excited since you said yes to coming to this podcast because there's some interesting conversations I see coming up. And I'd love to start with my first section with breaking some myths around filmmaking. How do you navigate the challenges of working in a very male-dominated space? So is filmmaking a male-dominated field with little room for women?
I think it's not like that because I feel that nowadays males are equally supporting the females right now. So I didn't have anything. In fact, I had a lot of males supporting me in this field. So I didn't have any kind of hiccups. But yes, during work-wise and all that, yes, I did. But then otherwise, everything was so smooth.
What challenges did you have work-wise that you mentioned?
Work-wise, of course, when you work with a big team, it's basically sometimes the team doesn't arrive on time. And then we have, because I'm a producer as well, so I will have to see according to the budgets and everything. So when the team is late, then I have to basically sort out the timings. The places where I go for shoots over there, I'll have to sort of timings with them. So those were the challenges. And of course, right now the industry is so competitive. So to stay consistent is very difficult. To make a movie, it's very easy, but to stay consistent is very difficult.
And you're an independent filmmaker, right? And, we often think that independent filmmakers struggle to make very impactful movies. Yeah. How difficult is it to survive in the industry and to consistently make impact?
See, the thing is, when you talk about reality in life, people would want to hear because during the COVID times, people would have seen a lot of difficult timings because that's something which we never expected. So from that time till now, I think there are a lot of people still struggling. But when you make some reality, movies which happens in everybody's life, so that really brings out the people to watch it because I was doing social awareness movies. So where I used to give them even the solutions for it. Like I would give A or B, either of these two are your solutions, which I feel after doing a lot of spade work. So in that way, I do get my audience because life is not bed of roses. People show it everywhere that it's bed of roses and it is that's how you come. But it's not like that. It's very difficult. It's really difficult to stay. As I said, to make a movie, it's very easy. You can take an iPhone camera and just shoot it, but you don't become a filmmaker. You need a lot of cameras behind it. You need the expertise. So many things are there. So which definitely keeps me going. And that's where I stay consistent with different stories, which reflects in everybody's life.
A lot of these stories, you take, the concept is there, right? And then it moves to the production stage. But how do you make sure the quality is never compromised at any of the stages that a movie moves through?
As I told you, the quality of the movie lies in the type of cameras you use. Everything is different. Like, for example, there are a lot of colors which we play for happiness, for sadness, for slow motions and everything. This really, this is the visualized. Like, for example, if a person cannot even hear, but if he sees a movie, and if those colors and everything, it speaks a lot. So in this way, we can definitely keep them engaged, and that's how I do it.
Do you need a huge budget to create a movie?
I believe in content. You make a movie for 1 crore, and if your content is wrong, and if the story is not good, no matter what, it's not going to go. Like, for example, I'm telling you, this new movie, Animal, like there was so much of, so many things. The fights were amazing. I loved the fights. I loved everything about it, about how they have shot it. But the story was hopeless. Even if anybody says it's good, I would not, just because there are big actors, I would not support that story at all. Because we've also learned, because my background, I have done filmmaking. I'm a journalist. I'm a filmmaker. So I know how it works. So It doesn't mean that if people are, having a big budget and they're doing a movie, it's big. If the content is right, your story is right.
So the content is right, the movie is going to work.
Absolutely.
And you'll find the
no
audience.
matter, even if the actor is not a big actor, it can really go good. Because if the content is a powerful story and done in a very nice way, then it really hits it.
But, you said the content is right, the movie will do well. But sometimes there are certain movies where the content is amazing. The concept is amazing, but they still don't do well. They still don't hit the box office. They still don't recover the revenues.
As I told you, if the content has to be right, for a flashback, you can't give a reality color. So maybe they would have gone wrong in some ways. And if you see, most of the content, there is 3 classes. There is upper middle class, then the middle class, and there's a low class. The lower class, what I feel, they like things like dances or maybe something to do with, sexual, whatever it is. I mean, that really goes
that's
high.
mass market kind of
But
movie,
people
right?
like, if you see the upper middle class and the middle class, they like stories. So maybe the one which you're talking about could be related to that. Because these kind of things, of course, people do watch. I mean, that's how reality is. People don't talk out, but I do, as I told you, I don't keep things to myself. I really talk about it.
No, that's brilliant. We'd love to hear more of your views, but I'd love to go back. How did you enter filmmaking? Were you always interested in it? Happened by chance or not?
I was a journalist. I worked for a TV station. I used to do Saturday reports.
This is how many years back we are talking?
We're talking about really, 20 years back.
20 years back, brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was doing Saturday shows for a TV station here. It was called City 7 TV, but of course it's closed down right now. So I was doing for them. And then from there, we picked up set of people and we pushed to something called Food Addict. It's a food show where I brought the Malaysian food to Dubai in ZTV.
Okay.
So I did my shows there. So after that, I did one short film, which is called Selfie with Mukul Dev. And I had my team. And that's how, I thought I was working with different production companies, but then I was not a director at that time. I was producing and acting. But then later on, I thought when I have the ability to do it, then I would direct myself. So that's the reason. That's how I just got into filmmaking.
And your movies often tackle social issues, right? What drives you to focus on these themes?
So basically, I mean, there are a lot of people in this world where, they face a lot of difficulties. Nobody's life is very smooth. It's all in, there is a kind of sorrow in them. So that's how I picked up from, there's something called Blue Whale. So I picked up my stories from the internet, how the kids are suffering from that and everything. That's how I started my first story. Social awareness is very important because it's like giving into the society. We can just make a dance or we can just make a fight scene and then the movie goes. But something where people learn is very important because books are sometimes boring for few people. So something which is created in a very nice way.
In a storytelling
way. So that's how storytelling is something which people like to watch if it's done in a very nice way.
And when you started, what were the challenges you faced? I'm pretty sure it was not an easy ride.
There was a lot of challenges because I didn't get any sponsors at that time. So all were sponsored by my company, Zen Film Productions. Yeah. That's when, and when you really don't know, there were a lot of cameras coming in. So we had to work with so many DOPs. So the DOPs had a big budget because when you're coming from a good, like when you're coming from a rich family, like I'm coming from a good family. So that's when they try to rip you out. So what happens is, first two project, I was really ripped. That's when I realized the next projects, okay, you could have done in this budget for this kind of a quality. So right now, I'm in that place where I know, okay, fine, I pay for this, I get it. I don't pay for something which is more. So as you see, like every day or every hour, we learn in our life. Let it be any kind of age, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, we learn till we get buried. So that's how life is.
Talking back and looking back, tell us about your favorite project so far. Which one has been something which will always stay with you?
I think there was some project which I did 5-6 months back, and that was called Aya, which was shot in Firdaus Studio by A.R. Rahman.
Right.
And we had the music director from A.R. Rahman's team. Her name was Hiral Viradia. So it was a beautiful story where there was not much of a conversation. So when you don't have a conversation and when you had to act with your eyes and with the visual, it's quite difficult. And it's actually difficult for the actors and for the directors to do that acting. So in my story, that was connected to something where prayers can be answered. If you pray properly, all the things can be answered, like really, I mean, you will get through it, whatever problems you have. So that was really nice, where we played really well with the lighting, because in Firdaus Studio, the lighting was a bit low during our shoots and everything. So we gave all kind of colors and everything. So it won awards back in Sydney, back in India, back in UK, in almost all the places, even in Dubai. Yeah, so that was something which is very dear to me. And the next project which I'm doing is the first escape room series in the UAE. So that's also done by me with the few influencers and few actors in Dubai. So basically just to bring all the influencers for acting. So that's how...
When does that come out? We're excited to know.
Season 1, first episode, we just wanted to give it. So it's in Stars Play Arabia right now.
Okay.
So the next series are also going to be on board on February 2024.
Very exciting. That's not too far, I would say.
So yeah, shooting is going on for the Spectre series, which is number 1 in the world. Yeah.
And what's coming up in Spectre? Like, what's happening there?
So in Spectre, basically, it's about 5 individuals who have a problem in their life, of course, financial issues, and they take up a challenge where they have a casting call in Spectre Blackout, which is an escape room. So if they win there, they get about $2 million. So they have to play the game, find the puzzles. So they find the puzzles, and during that time, whatever they're coming up with all the tensions there. So that's what we are showing. So it's the first series is in Stars Play Arabia. That is the first episode. And the next ones are coming in February 2024.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Not too far. And I think escape rooms are always like nerve-wracking. And
Yeah, that's
there's a lot
right.
of tension, and even friends can start fighting there.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to it. So something you mentioned was lighting can play a very important role in movies, right? So, and you faced, low lighting and big, nice lighting can make a difference to the movie. What's your experience been?
As you said, it is absolutely correct that lighting really plays an important role. Lighting and color grading. Okay, color grading is also a very important role during the editing. If we give a brighter side of the story, that means the scene is a happy scene. If it's a tensioned kind of scene or something, we give a blue kind of a blue light. So there are a lot of things. I mean, like technically, my whole team, we work together. But of course, end of the day, since I am directing and producing it, it goes through me. Because if I feel that the colors are... It's not something to be talked about. It's something to be felt. Because when you see the color, like if you see, okay, what do you feel? Now I'm going to interview you. What do you feel when you see roses?
Happiness.
Red color,
Happiness,
pink,
love,
white. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
You can't give a white rose to the guy whom you love.
Fair enough. Yes.
You don't feel that. But you can give to a brother or to a friend or to your parents. You feel that vibe. So you can't just, like, if I tell you, explain me that white color, you can't, because you feel it. So this is in the filmmaker's blood. That's what I would tell you.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's another thing in the filmmakers, and especially the director's blood, is making a character look good.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do we make magic there?
So basically, there are a lot of different directors who tell their actors how to do it. So for me, I've still heard about big actors where they say that when they're given a particular role, 3-4 days before itself, they will become that character and they will do the things according to that, so that they can perform well on the day when they have to perform. So for me, the thing is, you can do that as well. But when the actors, they come and they have a lot of acting in it. So I tell them, I explain them, be that person. Like, think that you're that. Like, if you're a rich guy, think that you're rich and feel that role and then do it. And if they still don't get it, I do that for them.
How do you?
I act.
You act it out?
Yes. Crying, surprising, and everything. Like, I do that.
You have to internalize the role, right? Yeah.
I will sit down. I will explain. Like, for example, I had one of the, if you see the influencers and TikTokers these days, they come up with a camera and they do that, what do you call that? The dubbing. They lip sync it. But it's not the case when all the cameras are in front of you, the lights are in front of you, and you can't lip sync at all because you need acting. At that time, the body doesn't do the show. So there are a few influencers who had issues. They took about 10 takes to do it. But I would still help them because this is how an acting is done. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. It's not like how you sit down and, somebody performs well and then you see, oh my God, this scene is really good. But behind that scene, what the director had to go through is a big, big issue.
Nobody knows that,
nobody
right?
knows
It doesn't
that.
come out. And I think lip syncing is like you talking to your phone. And when you are doing acting in front of a production crew with 50 people behind the camera, it's a different game.
Yeah, it is very different because, there's so many people in front of you and you just have to feel that there is nobody around. Okay, if you're going to cry, maybe, it came in such a way that I told that person, take something in your life which has hurted you so badly. Maybe your girlfriend ditched you or anybody and you just couldn't, you couldn't help it and you were crying. So think about that and start crying. That's the end of the thing. Then that's how they did it. They performed. I would say all the actors in Spectre series, they did a very, very good job in the first episode. And the next episode is a lot of acting needed. So I'm working on them. We have shoots going on. So yes, being a director is not only the cameras, and I'm doing one of the roles as well.
So you're acting and directing and producing Spectre.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
right.
How do you play these different hats at the same time?
So basically what happens is when I do the acting, I make sure that my daughter, who's actually a co-director, Afra, so she sees my acting, and if it's not good, she will tell me to repeat it.
How honest is she?
She's very honest.
Brutally honest?
She's very brutally honest because she has to be brutally honest because I'm very honest with her on the set and I bombard her. So she has to give that back to me. So she does that.
That's a golden chance.
Yeah, so that's how she can catch me. So yeah, and then after that, I do go and see all the scenes which are actually taken. We take about few takes so that we get one take very nice. So we do with a lot of angles and everything. And during the editing also, I sit with my team. I just don't leave them that you do this editing and I'll come and see later. No, I come, I sit down. It's that, because the thing is, when you direct something, you are the pilot of the aircraft. And if you do something wrong, the whole thing goes down. So that's how it is. If I do something wrong, then the whole movie goes down. So I have to see each and everybody. How should they look during that scene? Everything, A to Z.
Brilliant. And we talked about acting. So my team has requested, can you cry for us on the camera? Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow, what a brilliant piece of acting. See, and everybody watching this podcast, I'm being brutally honest. We did not tell her what was coming.
Oh, yeah.
We just threw this bomb
But I
during
still have
the
my tears in my
podcast
eyes.
to test our actor, director, and producer here. But she's been brilliant, girls. Like, it's amazing, really, what she did. Okay, moving on. One of the topics I really wanted to discuss with you, and this is something we've exchanged notes about before,
Yeah.
but divorce, right?
Okay.
It's a very taboo topic. We don't want to talk to our parents about it. Our parents don't want to tell everybody that, our kids are divorced. We want to protect our kids from it. What's your take?
I'm divorced and I'm divorced twice. You can't protect anyone, okay? Because whatever the marriage was done, it was done out of taking a lot of precautions in life. Okay, but even when you take precautions, what happens is there are certain things which happens in your life which you can't take it. And I would tell everyone that divorce is not a bad word because it's a contract. There's nothing called love in this world. The only love which I feel is what the kids and the mothers they have. Okay, and everything else, like for example, if it's a son, daughter, that also is there, but it gets eaten up with the other half. That is their wives, their husbands. Okay, so and these poor men have to be in between everything, and poor ladies also have to be in between everything. So you cannot really protect from anyone. But what you can do, you can educate your daughter, you can educate your son that this is how it is, and also educate them not to take the shit. Because at one point of time, if you try to keep holding for the society, this society is not going to come for you when you're getting cheated or when you're getting insulted, when you're getting hit. This society is not going to come.
But this society does point fingers at you.
This society will point finger on everything. Even if you're a wife, even if you're a daughter, or even if you're anything, your mother-in-law is still going to say bad about you. Daughter-in-law is still going to say bad about the mother-in-law. It's not going to stop. Until date, I know everyone, they keep talking, but it's good. I don't have all that. So I keep listening from here and throwing out through the next year. So it's like the world, what it's going to say, it's always going to say. If you're going to have an affair, it's going to say something. If you're going to have, if you're going to get divorced, it's going to say something. Or if you're going out of your wedlock and you're going to do something, that's their choice. The world is not going to feed you. The world is not making money for you. And you are going to live. And you came alone, you're going to go alone. So this has got nothing. I mean, I honestly don't care about what people talk. And if you start caring about them, you will stop living. And this is only one life. And I think we should make the best of it, out of it.
I see you as a very strong woman with very strong views, right? Like you kind of don't care what people think about you. What made you that?
See, the thing is, any lady, if she talks and someone likes what they spoke, I mean, if they're impressed with that lady, she would have gone through a hell lot. And as I told you that the day, my marriage was an arranged marriage first because I love my parents a lot. So I listened to them. And the most funniest part was I didn't even see him. Those days, I didn't even see him. I got engaged on the same day when I saw him. That was the instruction given by my parents.
So you'd never met him, never
I have
spoken
never
to
seen
him?
No, not
Okay.
at all. So they liked it. I did it for them. So gradually, when it happens that when you get married and things were not going on, it was, of course, a physical abuse and everything. When you try to fix something, like, for example, you take a mirror, you break it. If you want that mirror to be the same way, it's not going to be like that. It's just going to fix till you can see. At one point, it is going to break. I pulled it on till 10 years with full of shit and everything. After the divorce, to make it again a better life, I got married to one of my best friend, whom I know from the age of 17 or 18. That also didn't work out. And both, to be very honest with you, both were not my mistake. It was completely the man's mistake. So I don't think so. I would wanted to stay in that kind of a relationship. And so that's how I came out of it.
What gave you the guts to walk out the second time? Because, every time people think that, log kya kahenge? Okay, pehli shaadi mein to you never met that person. So that's fine, Second shaadi mein, you knew that person for a while. But what gave you the courage to walk out of that relationship?
What gave me the courage was, it was very difficult for me because my own parents were, oh my God, what is this? First marriage didn't work. The second marriage is also like this.
Log kya kahenge?
Log kya kahenge is always there. But I think then I realized at one point of time, yaar, log, even if I'm doing good, tab bhi bolenge. Then also they will talk. So even if they talk, they'll talk for how many years? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. उसके बाद तो लोगों का काम ही है कि दूसरों के बारे में बात करना. So it is like that. I would advise everyone that forget about the people around you. Forget your parents, respect them. But when it comes to you living your life, you should make the best out of it. And you have to live it. You can't live others' lives because that's not what you're made for. Our parents those days, why they were, nothing happened to them because I believe that the ladies were not so forward. They were taking everything.
I think they were compromising.
They were compromising. Yeah. So we are not ready to compromise because the thing is, isme kya hai, both the men in my life, they were ripping me apart mentally, financially, physically. So what am I getting out of it? When I'm having issues, that time log nahi aaye. When I want to get out of it, then the people are coming.
Yeah, of course. Unwanted advice you will get, right?
So I don't think so they're worth it. And I feel right now, my parents are proud of me. My relatives are proud of me. And the most funniest part is those people who were talking about my divorce, they're already divorced now.
Yeah, so I think
what comes around goes around.
Yeah, absolutely. So stand up for yourself, live your life is the message that Zenofar has today. We are continuing this conversation. Don't go anywhere. Moving on to our next section. And this is much lighter. This is much more fun. We want to know the other side of you, you know.
Okay.
It's called Direct Dil Se or the Rapid Fire Round. And we have a beautiful hamper here, a little small hamper.
Okay.
The hamper is special because it's done by women entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I run the Indian Women Dubai community. We have 5,000 homepreneurs on the community. So everything in this little hamper comes from a woman who's trying to start a second career.
Okay.
And so let's start with the questions and you have to answer all the questions in the right way to win this hamper. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fun. Okay, one director that you admire.
Madhur Bhandakar.
One book that has inspired you.
The Black Book of Arabia by Sheikha Hind Al-Qasimi. She's an amazing friend of mine. She's my mentor. And what I would like to tell you that, Sheikha, you've always been there for me. And I mean, even in my bad times and my good times and my best times also, you're there for me. So she's someone I admire. And she's someone who I can never forget.
What an amazing friend you are, Shikha. Everybody would want a friend like you, by the way. What's the favorite film you've produced so far?
Right now, which I'm producing, Spectre Blackout. That is my favorite. And Aya is also my favorite. So
I'm sure all the movies are the favorite.
Okay.
Great. Your favorite filming location?
My favorite filming location, okay, that's going to be a bit difficult. It's been... almost everything is favorite, yeah, because everything has a different story. So I just cannot pick up, like a certain...
We'll take that. A technology you find indispensable in filmmaking?
The high-end cameras like, ARRI and Red and everything. I mean, that's something that really, everybody knows about it. So it's nothing, focused, yeah.
What's your go-to relaxation activity?
I love to be with my children, watching Netflix. That gets really relaxed. But yes, I went to Bangkok. That's a beautiful place. So that's a destination which I would like to go again.
Brilliant. A film that has changed your perspective?
Fashion. Yeah, from Madhur Bhandakar. Because in that, like those days, we just see the models as, they're not... we don't take them very serious. But... the way he has explained about their lives and how it could lead to a very darker zone, that really scared me. And it was a really beautiful movie. And of course, the way I looked at these kind of models and everything really changed me because we need to know their lives. And also, I don't remember, there's one more movie, Alia Bhatt's, because I'm very... what was that movie's name?
Gangubai.
Yeah.
What's a social cause or a genre you want to explore in the future?
Which I want to do it. I don't know whether I'll be able to do it or not. So it's basically about the people who are not educated, the ladies who are not educated, and the only thing what they can go is for prostitution. They're not being respected because of certain things. The work what they do, sometimes they're only given as housemaids or something like that. And when they want to make more living, because things are very expensive in life, and they do this kind of work.
They don't have an out, basically.
Yeah, they don't have an out. I would want to explore their life, actually. It's very difficult. I know it's something where people are going to just say, oh my God, it's such a... Because that's what they are looked at. But I have seen a lot of people who have been, in a proper zone, but because they want to, certain deals and all what their deals they want to do. I've heard about it. So that is also another kind of prostitution, but those are not called as prostitution. These are called prostitution because they're doing it, it's seen out. So I would want to know about their story. Maybe someday I would want to make a movie on that.
The last one is, what is the one lesson you've learned in your career?
Okay, one lesson what I've learned in my career is people say that if you do this mistake, it's okay, and it's going to be okay. But I will tell everyone, before you do the mistake or before you compromise on certain things, try to see whether you are happy in that position. Because for me to come out, because a divorce is something where you can never come out of it. That haunts you all the time. And that decision was done by me because I listened to whomever. You have to be very careful in doing things what you want, because sometimes the roads where you're taking different roads for a particular destination, it might not lead you to a correct destination. So you need to be literally careful before you do the things. So be careful. Don't ever think that whatever you're going to do it right now, it's going to be okay in later of your years. It's basically, you can never come back. You are just going to go through it. So be careful in your decisions. That's what I would say.
So be careful in your decisions. And that ends the rapid fire round. So it's been brilliant. We have a little hamper for you here, which I'm going to present to you. It's called the Empowered and Ambitious Hamper. And like I said, every little thing, it's a very little hamper, but every little thing comes from a women entrepreneur trying to start a second career. Even the packaging comes from somebody who's trying to build a career.
Oh, wow.
So there we go. So congratulations on winning this hamper.
Thank you.
Zenofar. I'd like to move on to the next section. And this is a trend I've been noticing. Every influencer is an actor these days. What do you think?
If you see, there is a movie which is going on in Netflix, and it's called Debunked. And it's one of the actresses, Fatima Sana Sheikh. So she says that camera nikal diya to influencer ban gaye. तो मेरा यहाँ dialogue था कि you took out the iPhone camera, so you became a filmmaker. I mean, come on, dude. You guys are not filmmakers, because in filmmaking, you just don't have only the iPhone. You have so many equipments, A to Z. So you need to know that you guys are not filmmakers. You are good influencers, but you cannot take up our place. That's all I would like to tell you guys, because actors तो बोलो ही मत, क्योंकि मैं भी करती हूँ. It's not that I don't do it. Taking a camera, go from there, walk, slow motion लगा दिया, पीछे एक म्यूजिक लगा दिया, बस हो गया वायरल. And viral भी कैसे लोग करते हैं? Of course, everybody knows that they pay for followers, they pay for views. Everybody does it. Even I do it, no big deal, but everyone does that. So it is like going viral, kaise viral? So, the thing is, what I would like to tell influencers is, please do. You all are great. You all are doing really nice. You make us famous. You make our movies famous. And thank you so much for that. But you cannot take our place, because that's very important, which I want to say to them. Because the thing is, everything runs with influencers. Everything runs. I mean, like any, what do you call... promotions.
Yeah, you would want them at the movie launch, right? Or your next
so
series
even I
launch.
use them.
Yes.
Even I tell them to, promote my stuff and everything. But I don't know whether you're going to promote after this. But I would love to tell the truth, because the thing is, there are so many things involved in filmmaking. So you stick to your iPhone cameras, and we stick to Red, Arri, and so many others. So the thing is, so you don't just become filmmakers just like that. and walking from one place to another place that even my children can walk. So I don't know if most of the influencers know what is an influencing the world, because you guys are more like on top of the world, where people have made you at the top of the world, and it's really good. But I would tell you to do it in a right way, because our future generation is watching you all, and we don't want them to take a wrong, like they just come and take iPhone mil gaya, main influencer banna chahta hu. No, we don't want that. You will have to have a good content. And I'm not saying all influencers are like that, but most of the influencers are very good in making the content. But some influencers who have viral stuff, like, they go with, I mean, like they do something funny and becomes viral, and it becomes so irritating. Even we have to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, come on, this is not fair. I mean, like, we also sometimes walk, so don't make us a fool, man. Really, I would honestly, please. Because
I am loving this conversation.
because मुझे ऐसा होता है कि मैं इतना कुछ करती हूँ और ये वायरल हो गया, तो मैं भी चलूंगी. Then come on, you have made a fool out of us. अपने generation को foolish मत बनाना. बस यही है मेरी what do you call, मेरी विनती or whatever. I'm feeling like you guys need to do more content. Content is something like, for example, you take a subject, you do a content, and then you walk on it, or then you do something good. Walking and putting a reel behind is good, but not all the time. So sometimes मैं भी पागल हो जाती हूँ. Like, I don't want to tell you, but I'm telling you something off the box, which nobody.
I want to know this.
So
Yes.
that is like, so whenever I get dressed up, so what happens is, whenever I get dressed up,
You have to walk the walk.
so what happens is, ठीक है, मेकअप हो गया, ड्रेस हो गया, तो एक हेयर ड्रायर इधर से लगा दो, एक कैमरा बच्चों को पकड़वा दो, और करो वॉकिंग या कुछ डांस. आई मीन डूइंग दिस एंड आई डोंट वांट टू डू दिस. आई वांट टू स्टॉप दिस, बिकॉज द थिंग इज, व्हेन दिस कैन इन्फ्लुएंस मी, then it's going to influence our future generation, and it's not right. We want to influence them in a nice way. Okay, dance, do the dance and everything, but the thing is, walking near all the places, and just putting the lighting and just putting here and there, I mean, it really, to a limit, it's good, but not all the time. And when you see all the time, and people are calling only you to do the promotions and all that, hum log to pagal jaise baith jate hain. I don't know why. I mean, like, okay, fine, but then I've left it right now, because I cannot race with people who don't have content. If it's a good content, it's fine. If it's not my cup of tea. So I tell them that the influencers is a very good way of promoting things and everything, but I would tell them to take a subject, take a content, do something, rather than something like
Lip syncing.
अरे lip syncing होता नहीं है यार. I mean, I don't know, lip syncing to a joke or something is fine, but प्यार के गाने, all these things, जैसे it's like they are Shah Rukh Khan and they are doing this, and I'm like feeling really very weird. I mean, because it's not good for our future generation. Because to be very honest, the kids these days are not very clever like how we people used to be.
But they have access to social media, iPhones, and
They are
every
over.
day, right?
They have
over access to all
they
of this.
have access, but they are following those things which is funny. Like, I don't know. I have my own son. He'll come up with something. You do this reel. Then I'm like,
But it's
thinking,
more
इसमें
easy
क्या-
to get those viral reels, right? If you're going after numbers, कोई serious topic पे लेके मैं debate करूंगी तो कम लोग view करेंगे. आप कुछ funny उठा लो, अभी आपका reel viral हो
But
जाएगा.
funny भी अपना बनाओ. Make your content. Why on
But how many people can be original creators is the question, right?
That's the competition, right? I mean, it's like you have to create your original content. Okay, tell me something. You guys, you are influencers. Tomorrow, the Instagram is shut down. What are you? You're nothing. But what am I? I'm a filmmaker. I have done movies. YouTube में चलेगा. Instagram ले लो. But मेरा एक identity है. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Correct? Everybody said COVID is now going to come. Nothing is going to happen. There was a complete lockdown. It was like how many people died?
Yeah, and how many people lost, financially?
How many doctors
families?
died? And one of the most important short film which I made was on doctors during the COVID. That also went viral. And there's one more story which I made on on the COVID, where a lot of people lost their jobs and how to, stay positive. So these two really went on viral over here. So that is something very close to my heart. But you need to actually make your original content, because this is something where you're based on Instagram, social media, and everything. Tomorrow something happens. Like, for example, there are so many actors who are still respected without their social media.
Which actor do you respect the most that you look up to?
No, I respect all. Okay, fine. Take Rekha. I don't think so. She has an Instagram account. Does she?
I don't know.
I don't know myself.
think
I've never
so.
seen it.
Yeah.
Javed Jaffrey, I like his jokes. I think recently he would have joined, or he never had one. But people still know he's Javed Jaffrey. People still know she's Rekha. If you look up to them, then only you'll be here. Like my dad used to say, if you aim 100, then only you'll get 80 or 60. If you aim for 60, you'll be 20. Correct?
Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Fair
Very
enough.
simple.
Yeah.
So the main idea is, tomorrow your Instagram is not there, then what are you? Like, what are you going to show? Correct? But I have a lot of things to show. Movies, of course.
No, of course.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to tell them.
No, that's brilliant. So, what's your message for aspiring movie makers then?
Budget is a big problem over here. As I understand, okay, fine. One thing also I would want to tell about the influencers, which I do understand their things, is because I would like to tell this, because most of them, and this you need to post it, because this has to be posted, because this is for the influencers. Most of them are called on barter.
Yes.
Okay, and that's not right, because influencers के घर भी चलते हैं. Okay.
I hope landlord rent हमारा barter में कर ले तो सब influencers free में
No,
promotions करेंगे.
influencers need to be paid.
Yes.
Okay, that's very important. Barter is not something. Barter karo, but I'll also pay them, because the thing is, they also take time. They also take, a lot of time and location and everything, and kind of that is also their work. So that's something which I sometimes feel bad for them, because most of the influencers, they say that they're calling us free. Barter mein chahiye, hamara ghar kaisa chalega? That's true, because that is their job. So that is something which the trend has to change, because if you don't, it's very simple. If I don't have money, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
If I have money, do it. It's very simple. For the promoters, if you have the money, call them, pay them, do it.
Fair enough.
But if you don't have, then why are you giving something FOC? Because FOC से घर नहीं चलता.
Yeah, FOC से खाना नहीं बनता है. FOC से
FOC
rent
में
नहीं दिया जाता.
FOC में जाके अगर मैं restaurant जाऊंगी, this is the FOC,
Yes.
what they give, they'll give me
Yeah,
food. No, they
exactly.
won't. So I think that has to change. There's so many things have to change. This has to change. Nobody becomes a filmmaker, and we need good content, because we have a future generation watching it. So that's something there, and I don't know how many influencers are going to hate me right now. I mean, like,
I think some
but
of
do promote Spectre series, okay?
So all the influencers, you have to promote Spectre series, but I think they will love you for being for the honesty.
Yeah.
That FOC से घर नहीं चलता.
Yeah, very true. Because I always wanted to bring this up, because a lot of people, they keep telling me that, okay, we'll give you, even to me in my Instagram, they tell me ki, there is a jewelry and we will give you the jewelry free. I don't want the jewelry free. I want money, because if I'm doing something, then give me that money. Okay, but the other thing is, even the influencers, one thing which I would advise you, if all the influencers come together and they actually ask for their pay, that'll be good, because some of them, they say barter is enough.
So as influencers, most will settle for less, right? Because barter ही होता है. Rent तो उनको लगता है कि landlord लेता नहीं है और groceries घर पे चाहिए
नहीं,
नहीं
वो
है.
लोग complain भी करते हैं. I mean, like, what am I going to pay for the rent? I can't pay this barter for the rent. I mean, like, see, I'm very, I talked about the influencers, what they shouldn't do. And I'm talking for the influencers also, what should be done. So this is something which should be done, because they need that. Otherwise, it's very difficult. I mean, like, we ourselves have our companies which we have influencers giving to different promotional activities. And when they say ki itna, I try to make it up to them. So that's important.
And another thing which influencers get judged is number of followers, right? 4
Yeah.
million follower,
That's
6
like-
million
that's
follower,
like
2
very-
million follower.
That's like first and okay, fine. It's Zenofar Fatima. Okay, fine. How many followers does she have? I mean, like, what followers? Yeah. I mean, like, half the followers fake hai, half followers, it's the proper one. So I don't know from where this followers thing come, and it's become a trend now. It's become a trend.
Yeah, and the likes can be bought, the real views can be bought.
Of course.
So
Everything can be bought. But what is important is if your content is there and people are watching, and when you are satisfied, yes, this is a content. So that's what basically I respect all the content creators, but that has to be a proper content. It should not be something like where you're walking and put a slow motion on ho gaya, like, and love scenes and all that, they do it in such a way ki, I mean, like looking at each other and piche wo purana gana unka chal raha hai, and then they are like, but then whereas if the actors would have done like so much of, they would have suffered a lot to do that particular scene. और ये लोग तो इतने करके they'll
ये तो आईफोन पे हो जाता है.
yeah, ये तो iPhone पे हो जाता है. So iPhone has a lot of now cinematic whatever
हैं.
filters and all the filter. इसलिए तो उसको filter बोलते हैं. Because the thing is the reality doesn't come. Filter डाल देते हो तो the truth is hidden.
But it's a coming fact, right? Talking about filters, अब किसी को भी without a filter photo लेना आता ही नहीं है. Like, we are all so used to seeing everybody with a filter. You'll wake up in the morning with the perfect eyelashes and the perfect makeup, and then you realize, oh, it was just a filter. But that's the world the teenagers and everybody's growing up in, isn't it? Basically.
I mean, you can't be perfect. I think people should post imperfection also. I've posted a lot of impact. When I had filters on, like, oh my God, without the makeup, she's gonna look like this. Then without the makeup, I just posted, and they're like, oh my God, you look better over here than this. So that's
Yes.
how it is. World is filled with filters. What can you expect? I mean, like, trends are going like that, and we have to follow that trend. Some people don't follow, some people do, but future generation, I would expect them. I mean, I would want, everybody would want the future generation to be really nice, not put a lot of filters and be reality, do content creating, influence the world, because there are so many things which is happening. Every day when we get up, we are very thankful that we are alive. We are thankful. Thankfulness is something very good. But I know a lot of influencers, they do content creating also, but there are most of them, if 20 is doing content, 80 is just walking. So yeah.
So the world is filled with filters, and we need to stop just the walking but create authentic real content. That's the message of our Women of Wonder today. If you liked this episode, please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll be back with another Women of Wonder very, very soon.